Are you ready to embrace the best years of your life? Well, welcome to Boomers and Beyond, the podcast that celebrates the 55 plus community and everything this exciting chapter has to offer. Everyone, I'm your host, Antionette Blake, better known as the DE Diva, and every week I'll dive into topics that matters to us the most. From health and wellness, travel, family dynamics, finances, family, friends. We're going to explore them all. Going to have some good advice, but I'm going to ask for yours as well, because there'll be lively topics about aging vibrantly, building strong relationships, and guess what? Making the most of retirement. So go grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea, even wine or juice, and settle in with me as we navigate this exciting world of boomers and beyond. And don't forget, subscribe to the show and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And share it with your family, your friends, your bae, and your boo too, because this conversation is all about you and me. So let's get started with Boomers and Beyond. Hello, and welcome to Boomers and Beyond. I'm your host, Antionette Blake, better known as the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger. I'm also the content creator behind the Del Blogger blog. And you know what? It is wonderful, fantastic to be here again with you this week, whether you're joining me on your morning walk, while you're sipping your coffee, or simply relaxing at home. I'm here for you, my incredible 55 plus community, because growing older certainly doesn't mean slowing down, especially when it comes to exploring the world. And today we're going to be diving into a topic that I am so excited to talk about because what? My family and I are gearing up for an exciting trip to the beautiful Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. We haven't been there in years, and I'm so excited to be there. So today's topic is technology and travel. Now, I know some of you might say, technology. Oh no, that is not what I want to talk about. Apps. What's an app? Do I need a whole new phone? I hear you. Air travel, especially air travel, there has been so many changes. Now they're saying you don't have to take off your shoes. They may change about the liquid, the quantity, of liquid you can bring in your travel on. It's just so many changes that's going on. And we're still getting used to having digital boarding passes. That is something that blows a lot of people's mind, especially when schedules change. It can be overwhelming. But the good news I want to talk about when it comes to technology, when you use it right, it can be the best travel companion out there. It can make your adventures more affordable, less confusing, if that's possible, and a whole lot smoother. And let's go back. I got married in 1990, and I remember my husband going to a travel agent in the Christiana Mall. Yes, the Christiana Mall. They had a travel agency in there, and that's how he booked our honeymoon, right? There was that personal travel agent, right? There were concierge. There were even translator, all wrapped up in one in an office. Now, that's all wrapped up in what you are carrying in your smartphone. And today I want to talk about how to demystify travel tech and show you how you can empower it to explore the world with confidence and joy. Now, as boomers, we have lived through incredible technology shifts. Everything from rotary phones to smartphones. From paper maps to GPS, we've adapted and we've thrived. And this is just going to be another step in that amazing journey. By embracing these tools, it isn't about becoming a tech guru overnight. It's about making our lives easier and our travel dreams a reality. Now, let's talk about some of the best ways for us boomers to book travel using apps and technology to make it affordable and less confusing. So, whether you're on your smartphone, which I advise you to use your laptop or your tablet because it makes it a little bit better. Let's start with booking your adventure. And we're going to book it smart and savvy. Now, the first thing you're going to try, you want to do is book. Gone are the days when you had to call a bunch of different airlines or talk to your travel agency. Now, those options are still there, don't get me wrong, but technology offers incredible price comparison tools, ones that you can see right there. They've got flight and hotel comparison sites and apps. There's Google Flights and Google Travel, and that most of us know this is a great starting point. You can easily compare prices across various airlines. You can track price trends and you can even get recommendations for the best time to book. Now, I started using it. So if you want to check it out, type Google Flights in your search engine or even download the Google app. There's other things like Skyscanner, Kayak, Expedia, Booking.com. These are also excellent for comparing flights, hotels, and even rental cars if that's what you want, because they pull data from a lot of different providers and it helps you find the best deals. And don't be afraid to check out different ones because prices can vary. And if you're flexible with your dates, meaning you can fly midweek or during the shoulder season, which is considered right before or after peak season. You can save a significant amount of money. And these apps have calendar views that show you the cheapest days to fly. So if you don't have to fly on a weekend, try to go midweek. Now, when it comes to vacation rentals, there were hotels, but there are now Airbnbs, Verbos, things like that, because hotels are not everybody's styles. And if you're traveling with your family, like I am when we go to Puerto Plata, you might want to consider a vacation rental. So there's apps like Airbnb and Verbo that offer homes and apartments and unique stays that provide more space, a kitchen, if you need to cook, you like to cook, it saves on dining out and has a more local experience. So read them and also read the reviews. Look for the hosts with high ratings and don't hesitate to message the host with any questions that you may have before booking, which we did on our last trip a couple of years ago to Florida. I went back and forth to make sure that I was getting what I was paying for. So those are just some real good tips for checking out the comparison for flights and also for rentals with those sites and the apps. Now, air travel. Yes, that can be a real pain because there's a lot going on when it comes to air travel these days. It's no secret because we see it on the news, we see it every day that airports can be canceling your flights, losing your luggage, and all that other crazy nonsense. But technology kind of helps to smooth out some of those wrinkles. For example, the airline apps. Most flights now are non negotiable. So before you book your trip, download the app for the airline that you're flying with. American Airlines, Delta, United, whatever the case may be. Why? Because you can check in online up to 24 hours in advance, which helps you to avoid those long lines waiting to do that, right? You'll get a mobile boarding pass directly to your phone, so there's no need to print out anything. And these apps also provide real time flight status updates. It gives you gate changes, delays, and even cancellations right there on your phone. And that is invaluable. Just make sure, remember, this is a tip, make sure that your phone is charged and that you have a portable power bank, because if your day is long and you lose, power, battery power, you want to be able to charge your phone quickly. And you may not be able to even find an outlet in the airport because it is so busy and packed. Also, digital documents. Instead of, going through trying to find the paper copies, you have digital copies. Make a digital copy of your passport and your visa and your travel insurance right on your phone. And you can store this information securely in the cloud, right? Like Google Drive or in a Dropbox. You can even take screenshots and keep them in a photo album just in case. You want to always have a physical copy of your essential documents as backup, but just in case your phone decides to take a vacation by itself, you want to be able to have that as well. Here's another trick, and I'm gonna get me a couple of these. My son got them for our cars, but those Bluetooth trackers like AirTags and Tiles. If you lose your luggage, oh my gosh, these little small affordable devices can be placed right inside your check bags and even your carry-ons, and it helps you to track the location of your bags by simply using your smartphone. And this will definitely give you a peace of mind. And I will have one in my bags, everybody's bags, when we're going to Puerto Plata. Now, beyond your booking and your boarding, there's other apps that can enhance your travel experience. Navigation and maps. We all know about Google Maps and Apple Maps, but these are your personal GPS systems. They can provide you turn by turn directions when you're walking, driving, or even on public transportation. So you can download these apps, for offline use as well. And you don't have to pay international data or, resort to having reliable Wi-Fi, because if you downloaded it, you can use it and set it for offline use as well. And before you leave, put in there your location or key attractions or any restaurants that you want to visit on your map, save them. That way it makes it so much easier if you're traveling to a new city, okay? Translation apps, Google Translate, right? You're traveling to a country and you don't speak their language, not a problem anymore. Google Translate is excellent. You can type in phrases or speak them to your phone or use your camera to translate signs. AI is another great thing. It breaks down the language barriers. It opens up new experiences and it makes you feel so much more comfortable. And the same thing with currency converters. Understanding the currency exchange can be tricky, but there are apps like XE Currency that gives you up-to-date live rates so you'll know exactly what you're spending and you don't have to do any more mental math. Remember those days? When you arrive in your new destinations, think about ride-sharing apps, Uber and Lyft. These are convenient and often safer alternatives to taxis, especially if you're unfamiliar with the taxi services. They provide on these apps, Uber and Lyft provide upfront pricing and tracks your journey. So you can see that this technology is nothing to fear. They are powerful tools, especially if you haven't traveled in a while. And these tools puts you and your mind at ease. It puts control back in your hand. It empowers you to find those amazing deals, streamline your travel process, and navigate new places with confidence. So, like I said, my family and I are so excited. We're getting so excited for a trip to Puerto Plata. And I know I'm going to use some of these technologies when I'm not just laying back and relaxing. That's going to help to make our trip like seamless and memorable. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't, feel like, oh, I can't do this. Start small. Try one new app You'll be amazed at how quickly you can adapt. Use it while you're still home. And say if you want to take a trip to a local library or a local restaurant, use those apps to help you navigate getting there. And you'll be surprised as you begin new journeys. Every small single step is going to help you embrace the digital age of travel. And it's going to make your next adventure the best one yet. So I want to hear from you because, again, like I said, we haven't been on vacation in a minute. What are some of your favorite travel apps? And what questions do you have about navigating the airports or even booking trips? I want you to leave us a comment, share your insights and your questions. And you know what? You can always connect with me on social media. The hashtag is Delaware Blogger. You'll find me. You go to my Linktree ID, A Blake Enterprises. Everything is there. So if you found today's episode helpful, share it with a friend, a family member, or anyone in the 55 plus community that you think would benefit from these tips. Because the more we share, the more we empower each other to live our best lives. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast, Boomers and Beyond, wherever you get your podcast so that you will never, never miss an episode. And you'll also find more resources, the show notes and links to the apps that I talk about on my shows on my blog, delblogger.com. So, search for Boomers and Beyond or just look at today's episode or, technology and travel. So thank you for joining me today on Boomers and Beyond. And until the next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep embracing all the wonderful possibilities that life has to offer because we only get one go round. That's it. It's the DE Diva signing off. Travel safe, my friends. I want to thank you all for tuning in today's episode of Boomers and Beyond. I hope you enjoyed the show. And don't forget, subscribe and leave a comment and share it with your friends. You can find me on all my social media platforms. And you know what? This podcast is on Apple and Spotify and Google and iHeart. They're all out there. Just ask for Boomers and Beyond. And if you have a question or a topic suggestion, send an email to me at ablake48@gmail.com. And if there's a topic that you want me to explore on this show, make sure you leave that as well. I'm also actively seeking sponsors who cater to the amazing 55 plus community. So if you have a business or a service that aligns with my listeners' interests, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email. You know how to do that. ablake48@gmail.com. Don't forget, join us next Saturday for another exciting episode packed with information and inspiration for living your best life after 55. Boomers and Beyond is hosted by Buzzsprout, and the music is by Mass O Beats from freetouse.com. See ya, it's the DE Diva.